And something that's been going through the news right now that I just want to talk about today, it's been happening over and over again. There's a trial going on. In case you guys don't know, there's a trial going on. And it's based on something we've talked about a million times on this show. And I got to say can we talk about the Russ trial? So, of course, this is the very first of two trials happening over the Russ shooting that went down. Alec Baldwin, we've talked about this a million times. Hannah Gutierrez, and now she's on trial right now. And it's been a couple days of this now, and people are talking about it. Like, they're trying to paint Alec Baldwin away as being a rushing producer. That's one thing that's been said. There was some footage they played where he's like, one more, come on, one more, right away. Let's go. Which actors do, producers do that more often, I would say. And he was a producer on the film. So they were showing that, and then the prosecution's probably like, well, she was rushed. And then they showed an armorer on there, and the armorer was like, when that happens, again, she wasn't, at the end of the day, I think it does come down to her, but I think there's other factors too. But when that happens as an armorer, I've worked on a bunch of shows where you have armorers. You gotta be like, all right, I'm stopping. And then you stop. And you take your breath, take the guns, you hold the guns, and you go, I need a second, calm the set down. You're in control. The armorer over trumps everybody. And so if she was able to do that, it would have stopped things. Yeah, Queen, there was one live round. Again, they were showing the gun, they were showing the bullets. There was one live round in there. And of course, like a fucking bad game of Russian roulette, that's the one that came out. And so we see her on trial. She has not testified yet. I think she probably will. I think if I was going to be her, I probably would. But the first AD came on, and the first AD, one of these things I was kind of shocked in, because before he said that he handed the gun to Alec. Now he's saying that she did. So there's a little bit of disconnect here. That's was part of his plea deal. He said that he handed it, and now he's saying that she did. So there's a little bit of confusion there too. I don't know if he's maybe just, situation trying to look at, I don't know what's happening there. Maybe he's confused, but that was a big thing that came out the past couple of days. People have been talking about. Also, again, the Alec Baldwin thing, and how he responded about how she should have been Alec Baldwin said she should have had two guns and not just one, ready to rock and roll and loaded during the whole process. And so, I mean, maybe, but again, you're the armorer. There's a bullet there. I don't know how you spin this, unless you say that other people are lying and they had a grip on there, or I think it was dolly grip was on there, and he was saying too he's never seen that before, like guns were going off on set out of nowhere, like blanks were being fired. So again, there's a lot of negligence on this set. And they fired the armorer. They upgraded her. She was non-union again. I'm interested to see how this plays out, though, because how they spin it will be definitely fascinating. Guys, what do you think? You hear we're a couple days into this whole thing. Everyone's talking about it. Is it weird that the AD is saying something different, GR? Is that weird, or is he confused? And do you think that they have a pot to piss in right now to win this case?
Win the case? Not a fucking chance. He's changing his story because he put himself in a hot spot. But I have one important question.
What's that?
What the fuck was a live round doing on the set?
Mm-hmm.
You don't bring live rounds into a set.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
They were doing target practice at lunch.
You can't tell the difference between a fake and a real round. You have no business being anywhere near a gun.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then she was rushed, and they're trying to say that, wow, she wasn't training enough.
Ass.
That was their big. Well, that thing. That's what I said before. They had an armorer come on and actually testify. And at the end of the day, they were saying like, well, you slow the set down. And why did Baldwin aim the gun anyway? I mean, that's a good question. They were rehearsing. Normally during a rehearsal, you use a rubber gun too. You wouldn't use a regular gun. You wouldn't have that. It was rehearsal, which is, again, a big fuck up. On top of that, they're trying to spin this too because Alec Baldwin, when he was shouting, he had the live gun in his hand. He was shaking it and pointing at everybody and telling them to keep going, which he shouldn't have been doing that either. He should not have been doing that. But they were showing footage on set of B-roll of him pointing the gun at everybody and screaming at them too. And so they're trying to show negligence from the producer standpoint. Yeah, he's a moron. But again, he's been on set long enough.
Skippy.
Right? He's been on set long enough, and he's done enough Westerns. He should know better than that. Again, producers sometimes rush it because they're behind, and they're like, we have to do certain things. Jordan, do you see this being problematic for, the case, I should say the city's case against her, that they have this footage that shows him being negligent, and they show like, or you think that she has a case, or you think that, they have a case against her and she will not be anyway getting off?
I don't know what's going to happen with this anymore because it seems to be going on a lot longer than I thought it would be.
Dude, it's so long.
And like everybody seemed to be from top to bottom has been a total fuck up in this whole situation.
Oh my God, dude. Target practice on set. Who the fuck's doing that shit?
Who the fuck does that? And like GR said, why was there a live round on there? And you said target practice. Why the fuck are you doing? You're not a real fucking cowboy. You're not a real cowboy. You're an actor. You don't need to have fucking.
Well said, Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole movie, this whole production sounds like like GR said, now the one guy's covering his ass. It just sounds like it's just going to be a bunch of people now changing their story to cover their own fucking butt cheeks.
That's what it seems like. I mean, and then, they have the ballistics. Covering their ass crack,
Yep.
Covering their ass crack. But then again, like, here's the bullets from the actual information coming out. Here's the bullets. But like, it's like, end of the day, they should never have live bullets on set. That's just insane. No. And you're non-union, so they had a lot of non-union people on here, so they were cutting a lot of corners. But end of the day, this is a big fuck up. This should not be happening. Hopefully, a lot of people learn from this. And Alec Baldwin does go up for trial too. They said between July 10th and the 19th, they want his trial to be for a course, and it's not for manslaughter, but still, but he's still going up for for this just fucking going down like this. And she right now could serve 18 months if she gets convicted too, but she might. I mean, I don't know. I think that it's a hard case to sell. We're going to see what happens, but I think it is weird when people start changing their stories, Jake. Do you think there's any way that you think people are changing their stories to cover their ass like we're saying, or do you think that this whole fucking experience of this show was a clusterfuck and everyone's just like, what the hell even happened?
I don't know. It feels like it's one of those things where the diversions keep taking place until the public's attention gets withered and worn out to where they don't care anymore. And because if you look at who lost and who benefited, like, clearly she lost because she died.
And she died, yeah.
Who was the main benefactor of that accident? If you're going to go with the ill intent version of it, right? Like, somebody's to blame. Somebody brought that live round onto set knowing it shouldn't be there. So who did that? And whose instruction was it to put it in the gun? Like, who handed it to him in the first place? Who loaded it? It was,
she loaded it. She was supposed to load it. And then the AD before said he ripped it out. Well, I guess his last thing was he took it out of her hands and gave it to Alec. Now he's saying that she directly handed it to him. But he's changed his story.
So I see. Yeah, it sounds like everybody's trying to,
Yeah. And that AD too, he stepped down. He's like, I'm not doing any more hauls. He's like, I just can't do it anymore. He's like, I'm stepping away from it. He said he checked like 3 bullets out of all of them. They were blanks. So he didn't check all of them himself personally. He admitted that too during the trial. And I'm like, he goes, that was my own negligence. I should have tested it all. But I just looked at it. I moved on. I was in a rush, as happens on set all the time. But again, that's why they had that armor that said, you just got to stop it sometimes. You just stop it. And she was not seasoned enough to do that. You just freaking stop it. You have all the power. You have the guns, And like Queen said, yes, you can do the practical stuff, or you do not the special effects stuff, which you can. And I've seen that happen. It works. But I got to tell you, like, the actually on set shit, when done right, it looks fantastic. But then again, if these things keep happening, then this is not going to happen anymore. It's just not going to happen anymore because people are being negligent, and then someone's going to die again. And no one should be dying on a set.
And even if the gun did go off by itself, if it had a blank, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't have mattered. I mean, there was the Brandon Lee thing where it was a blank and it killed him, which is fucking crazy,
But he had the gun right here. Brian.
Yeah, he did.
Not
point blank.
Pointed at somebody across the room.
Yeah, that's the thing. You point at someone across the room, no big deal. On Westworld, they'd be riding on horses and shit like that and firing them, no big deal. But you're right here, you never know. And that's what it was. It was the pressure or some shit, right? Killed him. Which again, that Crow movie is getting trashed right now.
It was the wad out of the blank that killed him.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. I don't know. I'm interested to see where this goes.
For those that don't understand, there's a piece of material in a blank that when the explosive goes off, it forces it out of the shell, and it hit him right there and killed him.
Yeah. Yep.
Even Queen said the gunpowder too could cause damage too.
Yeah, well, it'll cause burns, Queen, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know I've had that happen.
It's just sad to see this ever happen on set. Again, I've worked on set for fucking 15 years. God damn. And
You're old.
you know, you see things you never see. People are usually very safe, but then again, I've been on productions like this where it's a low budget shit and there's rushing and people get under pressure and they cave to people, and they're trying to make that case now for her that she was, you know, Alec Baldwin. So like, you don't just tell Alec Baldwin what to do. That's part of their defense right now as well. But that's your job. So at the end of the day, she's responsible. And there are other people I think are responsible as well. I think it's a complete shit show. And whoever brought that bullet on set, if you can ever figure that out, that person needs to be fired, never work in Hollywood again.
Yep.
You know? Never.